welcome back to the studio. And with that match, we say goodbye to this Lexodus WeBe May, and we see Incursion Shiny Network going on to face Thingy.
Yes, that is going to be obviously a really hard match for them, but I didn't expect them to make it this far, so at this point, I'm sure they can just do anything. They're magical.
They just believe in the heart of the
cards.
They
have another train rolling like side by side next to the weird hydrant, man. They're doing
That's a train I'll get on. I'll get on that train.
Very exciting teams here. Semicolon drop table users, obviously a lot of people kind of expect them to do well because they had some Outbreak members, a lot of people that have been on tournament teams for them before, but still coming out with amazing setups, really outside the box, acting a lot like a wild card underdog. The ISN guys, nobody expected them to make it this far. We heard who will be seen after the break. Nobody expected them to make it this far. So like fully half the teams left here are surprise teams.
So like, there's one thing though. Like you said semicolon drop table users are kind of unpredictable, coming out with crazy setups. They're going up against Kolbaz Inside, which are probably one of the craziest tournament teams that we know of.
Kolbaz Inside, obviously, like they are very, very talented, but I wouldn't say they are quite as outside the box as we've been seeing from something like Semicolon drop table.
Not maybe, like in the way that we can see, but like they do some crazy stuff behind the scenes. But we have the aftermatch report ready. If you can get that up on the screen, we can take a look at some of the stats from that match. Just solid piloting from Incursion Shiny Network, keeping that Guardian, keeping himself alive for such a long time with all those rep drones. That was
yeah. You know, it's another phrase that I never would have expected to say before, like last year. The Damnation turning into one of the ships of the tournament. Damnation just winning 2 really, really strong matches in a row against 2 really strong teams. We just saw a Damnation team beat a good Marauder-based team. We just saw a Damnation team beat Triple Dummy.
So maybe, wait. Here's one thing.
Maybe everyone should have been banning the Damnation the whole time, not the Dummy.
They did have a boundary violation, though. How big of an impact did that make?
Obviously, those damps would have been a big issue in harassing the Guardian. When the Guardian did come in close, he did get neuted and then eventually died. So that would have happened probably earlier, and yeah, it definitely could have swung the match.
So, I mean, I was reading in Twitch chat, there was actually a member in Twitch chat that was on the TeamSpeak with the Exodus team, and he was saying that the Dominix died because the Inquisitors were so damped that they couldn't lock him. So that damp war may have gone in a different direction if that Wallace hadn't.
So there's 2 aspects. So the damps for the Incursion Shiny Network team are really important because they have 3 big threats. They have the double Inquisitor, which is 2 of the 3, and then they have that Hyena. The Hyena's target painter is so important for those triple Dominics to be able to apply their damage that when you can force that target painter out, unless you're at point blank range and are dropping close range sentries, you're not going to be doing your full damage at range.
Yeah,
and that's what's really important about the Dominix is being able to do the damage at range.
Yeah, I mean, we saw how well the ISN team tanked at the beginning. That was actually against close range. That was against guards, and they were within optimal of those guards pretty much the whole time there.
Yeah.
They're trying to move across the field. The Exodus team dropped guards and then pulled back from the fight, forcing the ISN team to move continuously within that sphere. And they were still able to tank because there was no target painter, because they had won that damp war.
And especially that, the big moves with tons of rep drones, not using their Vextors drone base for damage, using them in the start almost entirely for rep.
The Vextors weren't dropping the rep drones, but
there were like 20 drones on there. Where are the drones coming from?
The Damnation have them, the Celestis has them.
Yes.
Yeah, there was 15 drones.
Okay. All right. We'll settle on that. But
there's no extra drone bay on a Vextor. No, not when you fit them like that. Anyways, there's not enough drone bay for that.
Yeah. But I wanna remind people at home that we do have a competition running. If you want to win a collector's edition, then tweet at the NEO2 hashtag a picture of your viewing setup of the second New Eden Open. We'll pick our favorite and then ship you a brand new and shiny collector's edition if you are the winner. I wanted to use this opportunity here to shout out to a special someone on Reddit called Renslip. I don't know if he's watching, but he replied to a thread on Reddit and told people that he was an actual train conductor, and kind of enlightened us a little bit about the role of a train conductor and how that works. And I, for one, was really happy reading that. It's just the more you know moment.
Are you a conductor or an engineer on the We Heard hype train?
So it's called It's called the conductor. So like the conductor is the guy that takes the tickets. Apparently, that is the most visible role of the conductor. I'll actually I'll read this post here. So the most traditional publicly visible role of the conductors is the collection and checking of tickets on passenger trains. But it's really not what most conductors do. Even on passenger trains, that task is now most often done by a non-running trades employee. So there you have it. That's a.
Are we
the more you know.
Legitimately
the more you
reading.
know.
Did we just legitimately read a post off Reddit?
Yes.
So
About train conductors?
Yes.
that actually reminds me. Let's look at the bands.
Okay.
Yes.
Nice segue. I appreciate that one.
I
That
have
was
the
really
bands
good.
here. I have the bands here. That is the semicolon drop table users banned out the Dominics and the Typhoon Fleet issue. And Cold Blast Inside banned out the Guardian and the Neros, not wanting any armor reps.
So I actually believe the semicolon drop table users bans are actually the same ones the German ski lesson banned last match. So it's what they had banned against them. Cold Blast Inside with a ban that we've seen in previous tournaments quite a bit. The double logistics ban. You use it when you're trying to block out an entire type of tanking. So in this case, they're trying to block out all armor tanking. We haven't seen it in this tournament, partially because it doesn't block out armor tanking anymore.
No.
Because there's Inquisitors.
Well, my read is when you ban Guardian Oneros, you're bringing double Inquisitors.
Potentially, you could also just be bringing shield and then trying
Yep.
to bring something that you know can beat it, like if you're bringing, say, rapid light missile Caracals or something. And
That's
then
true.
if they bring in Inquisitors, you just wreck them and move on. So it would be interesting to see what Cold Blast Inside does. Maybe they're going to run something similar to what we've seen out of Weehurt with the Vargur and then Caracals and Cerberus. That would actually work very well with these bans, depending on what semicolon drop table users brings. I mean, they're obviously trying to bait semicolon into doing something.
Yeah.
The trick will be whether semicolon falls for it.
Or maybe they're trying to make semicolon think they're trying to bait them into something, and then
Wheels
there's no
within
bait
wheels
at
within
all.
wheels. Yeah. And they're actually just going to, bring like four Hyperions.
They're
and
going to bring
destroy
3
everything.
Slipnirs and a scimitar.
I mean, this is a fine ban for that.
So the match is ready. Let's jump to it. But before we do that, predictions. CZB Fuzzy.
I am going to actually predict that semicolon drop table users takes this.
I'm going with Cold Blast Inside.
You know what? I'm going to disagree with Dolan again here, but he seems to be the anti-curse for today, picking the correct winner in the last match. So I'm going to go with semicolon drop table users as well.